Oh, Mike Swift. You know what today is?
Yes, I do.
That
It
was
is the 10th anniversary of Prince Rogers, or I'm sorry.
Prince Rogers Nelson. You were right.
Yeah, Prince Rogers Nelson.
Yep.
You're gonna have to forgive me. I am still under the weather, and I'm like still having like weird brain fogs. It's you've literally witnessed
can,
me.
can I just tell you how fucking annoying it has been to talk to you in the last 3 days?
I can imagine. No,
The other day
yeah,
we were on the phone
thanks.
and like every time I was trying to tell you, it was like so you could not put together like I'm like I gotta go. Have a good
Yeah.
night.
Like I could hear how dumb I sounded, and I just kept going. My mouth just kept going, and I was just like, you can shut up at any time. I met your neighbor's house guest the other day,
Oh, I'm sure
when
that was a
I
joy.
stopped over to feed Peaches. Oh, it was more of a pleasure for me.
I bet.
So I walk up, and at this point, I can't really see, the door. I'm coming around the corner or the curve, if you will, and the bushes are kind of blocking the doorway. And I'm just gonna be honest. I have gastral issues, so when I stand up, it's like the airways are clear. So I'm walking up.
Oh God.
I'm walking up. And I mean, I'm in my head, I'm by myself, so I let one fly. And as I do that, like I see her sitting on a chair by the door outside, getting ready to light a cigarette.
Shocker.
And yeah, right. And so I say hello. She looks up. She goes, "You scared the shit out of me." And I went, "You scared the shit out of me too."
My other neighbor left her a flattering note because there's a cigarette disposal uh whatever the thing you call it is, like trash can on the porch, and she's
Hmm.
the only one here that smokes, but I guess she throws cigarette buds in the bushes instead of using the fucking cigarette disposal thing that's 2 feet in front of her.
That's
She throws it, or
uh,
or worse, she leaves them on the ground on the step next to the pools of spit that she leaves from whatever the hell she's hacking up that's dying in her decrepit old body. And it drives me crazy to picture this girl. If you've ever seen Something About Mary, picture like tan like a piece of leather minus the blonde hair, and that's her. But
yeah.
my neighbor left a note because he's kind of tired of it too, and I'm like, I'm over it. Like if you the fact that I have to walk through pools of your spit and cigarettes to get into my house, not to mention the cloud of smoke I have to inhale, like you clearly have zero effing respect for anybody, and that's obvious.
Mm,
Like
mm.
it's just she can't be gone fast enough.
I have to admit, she is, from what you've told me, she is exactly what I pictured.
Oh yeah.
Like as soon as I saw her, I instantly knew who she was.
Yep. Oh, drives me crazy. Anyway,
Anyway,
this
yeah.
is what's on your mind. I'm Stephen Lewis. That's Mike Swift. I
Hello.
call radio dudes who are old now and just bitch about the world. So
Obviously, if you haven't seen or listened to the last 2.5 minutes of
this is
our show
true.
so far,
But anyway, this week, I believe it is your turn to go first. So by all
it
means,
is.
you have the floor.
So I guess the obvious answer, I can see because we can see each other on camera. But I'm gonna ask anyway. Are you more of an Elvis guy or a Beatles guy? I'm gonna to kind of paraphrase Pulp Fiction.
Probably neither. And
If you had to pick.
you know why? Because both of which are before my time. And
Well,
I've
yeah.
always
I
had
mean,
a like I respect, but I respect what both of them did for the music industry, but I'm not necessarily crazy about either one of them. I guess if I would have to choose from a music standpoint, I kind of like some of Elvis's
Hmm.
songs better, but at the
Okay.
same
Okay. Okay. It-
so,
the reason I ask it really wasn't meant to be a deep thought kind of answer. It was
oh,
just a
sorry.
simple segue into my
Oh, sorry.
what's on my mind. But that's okay. You participated, and I appreciate that. No, no. Honestly, what I was really leading to, and the answer obviously is in front of me. If whether you are more of a Prince or Michael Jackson guy.
Prince by far. I mean,
Hmm.
know what it is about my you're gonna get me into a long-winded. Um,
No, this is my what's on my mind. We're we're
okay,
we're there. We're here.
okay. I'm a Prince guy. Probably because when I was really young, my mom listened to a lot of Prince. My mom listened to a lot of Prince
Hmm.
and a lot of Billy Joel. So both of which are, kind of ingrained in me.
Hmm.
But I think I liked Michael Jackson. I think Michael Jackson had a lot of talent. What did it for me, and we'll never know because he passed away, when it comes to the child abuse allegations, like I just don't know what to think there. Because the first go round that happened in 1993, when he settled for an undisclosed amount of money, you go, well, maybe they were just attacking him for this because he's done so much for children that he didn't
Hmm.
necessarily have any other way to be attacked. So he just wanted it to go away. But then the later trials that happened prior to him passing, I'm like, man, that's a lot of people that are all saying the same thing. But then at the same time, you look at the world and go, okay, after the first child allegation, why are you letting your kids spend the night at Michael Jackson's house? So I don't know what to think there, but it's an asterisk for me. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
his legacy is overshadowed by that. And I don't know that we'll ever necessarily know the truth, but that interview, and I know you and I both working in the media, you can doctor something however you want. But that one line that got me in that interview was when he said, oh, the greatest thing you can do is share your bed with your child. And I'm like, maybe your own
Mm,
child, but a stranger's child, not so much.
yeah.
So I mean, that interview was
Right.
just kind of creepy and kind of weird. I mean, I know for a fact he was a drug addict because I dealt with record people that would say he was constantly on drug. He was very much a drug addict.
Mm.
And there's a lot of rumors that Prince too. A lot of people believe that Prince had
Well,
problems because he of his religion. He needed surgery and he would never go through with it,
and not get it.
and
Yeah, I
he
heard that
masked it.
same.
Yeah, he masked
Hmm.
it with the drugs. So I don't know.
Well, I mean, he did years and years of dropping down and doing the splits and all the other things he would do, and as a performer, it was wear and tear. And Michael too.
Right.
My what's on my mind is the fact that for years I thought I was a Michael Jackson guy
Ah, okay.
until Prince passed.
Okay.
And I don't know what it was for me, but growing up in my younger years, it was always Michael Jackson. Um, like my sister was a huge Prince fan. When Purple Rain came out, like she had the poster and she did the soundtrack, and but for me, I was more of a Michael guy, and I don't know what it was that drew me to Michael Jackson's music when I was younger, but I just grew up thinking, yeah, I'm a Michael Jackson fan. Like if there is such a world where it's one or the other, I always found myself on the Michael Jackson side. And um I mean, Thriller of course was huge when I was younger. Um one of Michael Jackson's songs, Stranger in Moscow. Oh
Yep.
my God. That is probably one of my like when I'm down in the dumps, just sad, I that is one song I could put on and just listen to and vibe to.
I s- yeah,
Because the
I,
lyrics are just so profound.
I drop Billie Jean a lot in DJ sets, but I also drop Black or White a lot in DJ sets.
Mm-mm. Black or White was another
Now,
great
I will give
great song.
I'll give Michael credit because a lot of people don't realize the. I mean, Michael, from an artist perspective, was crossing a lot of barriers that most artists would never have been able to cross. And I say that because
Mhm.
people, for those who don't realize, the Eddie Van Halen played that
Slash
riff.
or yeah, Van Halen. Yes, that's what it was. Yeah.
Eddie Van Halen at the height of Van Halen's popularity was doing a pop song with Michael Jackson. He plays the guitar riff. Slash, thank you, Mike, plays
Yeah.
the Black or White riff
Right. Yeah.
at the height of Guns N' Roses popularity. Slash was doing riffs with Michael Jackson. So I mean, he was good at crossing barriers. But then you get to Prince, and you want to talk about someone that was just a prodigy that had just musical
Wow.
talent. There's not an instrument
Yes.
that Prince can't play, and not just can't play, but can't not play well. Like
Right.
he's fantastic.
No, Michael played, but not as much as Prince did. Not
No,
as much as Prince did.
not at all.
And and just the range of music that Prince had. I mean, he's got an entire library of stuff that still hasn't seen it. So does Michael. So does Michael. But to listen to, if you really sit down and listen to a range of Prince's catalog that he
Incredible.
has out there, it's different. And you'll go, there are points and times you'll go, wait a minute, this is Prince?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, jazz, gospel, uh, just everything under the sun, rock. He kind of dabbled in it, and I didn't appreciate it at its time as much as I do now.
He Prince has secretly written so many songs. Bangles, Manic
Hmm.
Monday is Prince. Joan
Yep,
Osborne, God is One of Us is Prince. Sinead
that's
O'Connor,
another one.
Prince's version of Nothing Compares to You is
Nothing
better
compares is
Than the Sinead
better than
O'Connor.
hers.
Yeah.
Yes,
The crazy thing
which
is,
I
if
go
you
ahead.
listen to Sign of the Times by Prince, which was written in 1987, it is spot on with what's going on in the world today, 40 something years
Hmm.
later. It's crazy.
Hmm.
But it's just, I mean, there's a lot of I like Prince's catalog. I like if I was stuck and I could only listen to one album for the rest of my life, if that album had to be Purple Rain, I would be fine with it. And I would not.
I listened to Purple Rain 6 times today,
Yeah,
back to back.
like it is just a fantastic record. Like a lot of the stuff. I mean, again, he had his moments when he got kind of weird and everything, but
Hmm. Hmm.
I'll give him that. But and Graffiti Bridge was not as good a movie as Purple Rain was. But
I never saw it. Never
there
bothered.
are songs from that soundtrack I fucking love Thieves in the Temple. And it's not a like, not a massive
Yeah,
record, but I love
you are
Thieves in the Temple.
going deep, brother. Yeah,
Love
yeah,
Thieves in
you
the Temple.
are.
And I love like Seven is my jam. And I remember Brent Carey and I went to see Prince. And I
Always.
had no idea the time was opening for him until I heard the and I'm like, what? And I
Oh
mean,
no.
Prince in concert was just hit after hit after hit after hit. And he did an acoustic version of Little Red Corvette and then launched into Seven. And like you would have thought the place was going to explode. It was, I mean,
Oh my God.
and to this day, when it comes, both of them did Super Bowl performances. To this day,
Uh-huh.
the Super Bowl performance bar is set at Prince, and everybody else, I don't care who they are, is underneath
Way
that bar.
below. I'm sorry. Yeah, a Purple Rain in the rain. Get out of here, man. Nothing
Absolutely,
compares. I'm not trying to
pardon the pun.
pardon the pun, but nothing compares.
I have seen Michael, and if you are a fan of his career, I would encourage. But I like all those movies. I love Straight Outta Compton. It's one of my favorite biopic movies. I like, you know what's funny is the Freddie Mercury one, Bohemian Rhapsody. I like that one until one of the guys I worked with at iHeart was like, yeah, but they made up a lot of it. And then I
Hmm.
started reading the real story and I'm like, holy God, they did make up a lot at the end of it. And
A lot of it.
it didn't have to be that way. I mean, it was still a cool movie. And the movie performance and the Live Aid performance were fantastic. How
Hmm.
deadly accurate they were, but
Yes.
like there's a lot, and I mean, and to be fair, in Straight Outta Compton, there was a lot of domestic violence allegations against Dre that conveniently got left out of that movie. Like there is, I mean, there's some stuff
Yes.
that happens, but the Michael thing too. You know, there's some stuff that I know for a fact was left out and is not true, just from people I know. I mean,
Hmm.
I know a lot of people that uh, were working for Epic Records at the time that Michael was doing that last album. So I've heard a lot of like inside stories.
His daughter is very adamantly against the film
Yeah,
being released. She just felt that there were a lot of untruths or things kind of not in the story that should have been. So,
but I mean, I
but
also think he was. There's no arguing. You take away the child allegations, take away everything else from a performance standpoint. The dude commanded a stage like
yes, he
arguably like
did.
no other. And you know, I will not take the talent away because there is definitely incredible amounts of talent there, arguably unrivaled talent in some capacities. But
Hmm.
I just think that there's a lot of stuff that overshadows. The thing that breaks my heart with Prince is Prince never wanted all. If prior to Prince's death, if you were to search for performances of Prince's music or try to get Prince's music off the internet or download services or YouTube or whatever else, it would be blocked and it was impossible
Hmm.
to find. Now that he's gone, you can find it everywhere. And though it's the one thing he was against, his estate just kind of went, yeah, let's make some money off this.
Let's do it.
And I
Yeah.
think that, and
Yeah.
that drives me crazy. But you're
Uh,
also talking about someone who has a White Cloud guitar that, you know, he and was also in an elevator with Prince, but or I'm sorry, was almost in an elevator with Prince, but because of security was not allowed to get in said elevator with Prince. And that to this day breaks my heart. That's one of he was on my wish list of people to meet that I never got the chance to meet. And I got close. And by God, I got close, but not close
a
enough.
lot of people don't realize how incredibly short Prince was.
Super short.
5'2". Dude was 5'2".
So there was also I knew a guy who worked. He did security for another band that I did a show with, and he worked for Prince for a while. And we were talking one night. We were sharing stories or whatever, and we got on the subject of Prince. And dude was telling us the story that um, during the show, Prince was like, "Look, I'm gonna look at you, and whenever I nod to you, I want you to make a notch." And he's like, okay, like keep a tally for how many times I nod at you. And the guy said he did that during the show. Like Prince would keep nodding at him and he would, you know, make like a slash tally at the end of the night. At the end of the night, Prince came up with him and asked him, and what it was for, it was how many notes his guitar player missed and how much he was going to fine him per note, is how many times
Oh.
that it was. So, but it's crazy. Like it was just,
That is crazy.
yeah.
That's a very believable story considering wow, just he was an amazing guy. He
Oh, it
really
was.
was.
I was in the studio on the air when Prince. I was the people that hit me the most. I was on the air when they passed away. I was on the air when Michael Jackson passed away. Was because TMC actually broke that Michael Jackson passed away. So like
Hmm.
back in 2009, I was on the air for that. I was on the air. I was in the studio when Prince passed away. Like, and that stopped me in my tracks. And the other one,
Yeah, I
I was on the air when Chester from Lincoln Park passed away, and all of those, and Chris Cornell. I'm sorry, not Chester. I was on the air when Chris Cornell, when I got the news Chris Cornell passed away.
okay.
Like, and all
Now
three of
I was in a recording studio with my second band where we were recording a demo for my second band when Michael Jackson passed. I cannot remember for the life of me where I was when Prince passed.
I was in the Channel
I
99.
think I was just
I was in the Channel 999 studio on the air when Prince passed away.
yeah, I was just gonna say I think I was at home, which would make sense because you were on before
Were
me.
you? Yep. Yeah, I was on. That's when I was on the air when Prince passed away. Like today in 2016. Like
Wow.
it's crazy. Yeah, that one.
It
That
is
one hurt.
crazy to think that's 10 years already though. That is, just
Yep. It was, and I mean, it's musically obviously will live on, but and I don't know that there'll ever be another one of them. I mean, I will say it's kind of funny because there are people that when I watch them do covers, I hate when they cover anybody. Like because especially when you try to cover Prince, because it doesn't go well. Like for the most part, if you try to cover Prince, it just does not work.
I loved covering Prince though. I
But
loved
I will
covering
say,
Prince.
uh, he covered Foo Fighters' "Best of You," which I thought was a fan at during Super Bowl performance, which I thought was fantastic.
That was awesome.
But I
Yes.
will give when they did the Grammy tribute to him, Bruno Mars' version of "Let's Go Crazy" is not bad. So
Hmm.
I'll give him props there.
We can probably do a whole show on artists who sing
Oh, for sure,
other artists' music. As
absolutely.
speaking of Bruno Mars, what was it? That there's a song that Bruno Mars wrote for Adele, and his version of that song. Uh, I can't think of the title right now. It's of course here we go, brain fog. But um, I'm gonna look it up. But yeah, there's a song that the two of them wrote together, but Bruno does. In fact, they there's only the only version of the song that Bruno does. It's a live version that he did in the UK years ago, and the name of the song is "All I Ask." And my God, he now don't get me wrong, Adele. Whew, it sends chills down my spine when I hear that song on on either side. But the Bruno Mars version, man, fan freaking tastic.
Hmm. Interesting. I'll have to listen to it. I've never listened to it, but no, it is interesting to hear how other people's take on things. But I mean,
Yeah.
even though I've heard some really good covers,
Mhm.
no cover's ever better than the original because the original inspired said cover. So you have to look at it from that perspective.
The only caveat that I have, in my opinion at least, is uh Boys of Summer.
Oh, you like the Ataris better than
Yeah, I'd like the Atari's version better than Don Henley.
Okay, I'll give you one. I'll give you one more that I like better. Johnny Cash's version of "Hurt" is better than Alice in
Hurt.
Chains,
Yes. Ooh, yes, sir.
and
Yes, sir.
even the band has said as much. But
Hmm.
that's the only one that I'm like, okay, there's something about Johnny Cash's it just hits differently. But it's funny that you brought up music today because what's on my mind is also music related,
Oh.
and a lot of it has to do with the world. Do you remember? I have had this thing recently where I watch old YouTube videos of old performances from the early 2000s because in my head, I wish the butterfly effect would happen and I would go back in time and relive those moments. But the other,
Hmm.
over the course of this past weekend, forget what I was doing, but I was streaming Live 8. Do you remember Live 8?
I do. I do
Okay.
remember Live Aid.
For those who are not educated on what Live 8 was, back in 2005, July 2nd, there was this big summit in 2005 called the Glen Eagles Summit. It was in Scotland, and it was the eight biggest leaders of the world met in a summit. And what Live 8 was designed to do was it was this global call to action against poverty in Africa. And what happened and out of it was the 8 men in the room did agree to cancel debt for 18 of the poorest countries, and they pledged to double their aid to Africa by 50 billion by 2010. So it was designed to kind of wipe out poverty, which, for those who don't know, it was on the 20th anniversary of Live Aid, which happened in 1985, which is what spawned We Are the World and all that kind of stuff. And Live 8 was this massive concert. So Live 8 was a series of concerts. The main two were in London and Philadelphia, but there were simultaneous shows in Paris, Berlin, Johannesburg, and it had this massive television audience. There were like thousands of acts there. Will Smith was there, Jay-Z was there, Linkin Park, Soundgarden. I mean, there at the time, like there were just a ton of musicians that were there, and it was kind of cool to watch this concert. But the thing that stuck out in me is Live 8, because it happened in 2005, was still in that era where not everybody was on their cell phone the entire time. It was prior to cell phones and social media and everything. I mean, there was obviously MySpace was a thing there. And if you were on a college campus, Facebook was a thing there. But everybody wasn't glued to their phone. And you watch those performances and you see the people that are like just caught up in the moment and everything. And it was just,
Right.
it was really cool to be in that. But the thing that I question now, and I watch that, I'm like, there was so much hope and people thought we could do stuff and we could change stuff. And you look back and you go, okay, Live Aid, 1985, not much of a drastic thing has changed in the 20 years between Live Aid and Live 8. Now we are 20 years removed, over 20 years removed from Live 8, and the world's not much better of a place when it comes to poverty and everything else. And you make all these global statements and you do all these things and you get all these people involved. And it just feels like at the end of the day, there wasn't any kind of lasting change, or we haven't gotten better. And now I think, with the way things are going in this country, I think it's really hard for people to think about anybody other than themselves because they're trying to pay their bills and do whatever. And it's kind of sad looking back. I'm like, I wish we were better, in a better place overall than where we are now. And it's just kind of over 40 years and we haven't really gotten any better than where we were before. And it kind of breaks my heart a little bit. And it just,
It's disappointing.
it is disappointing. And I don't know in our lifetimes if we'll ever see the world be a better place. Because I think people are probably more selfish now than they ever have been. And I think that even if you do try to help somebody, there's probably someone on social media that put up a post to tell you why you shouldn't help them. And it's just, and as far as Africa goes, I'm like, that place has been poverty stricken for 40 years and we've done nothing, or they've done nothing, and the world's done nothing about it. And it kind of makes me go, I feel like until we're all on an even playing field, it's never really going to be truly a great place to live. And we're never really going to be able to accomplish like anything that's for the benefit of all mankind, which is kind of, disappointing and sad. I mean, again, if you look at the last, let's say 10 to 15 years, just in this country alone, I feel like we've gone in reverse in a lot of ways.
We have. We've definitely have.
But I also think too that, I think this country has also been broken by a system. You've had people, I think it's a combination of two things. I think there are some people that aren't getting enough help, and there are some people that you've let milk the system for 10 or 15 or 20 years too long. And that's a problem too. But it's just really sad that you do all these things and you just don't see any kind of real change or any kind of change that's come from it.
No, I can agree with that. You would think. I remember Live Aid, and I remember thinking, this is, we have a collective of people speaking up to try and make a difference. This might actually work, until we got there. And it's it now I don't want to make it sound like there weren't good things that did come out of it or that have
Yeah.
come out of it. But because there have. But when you look at this world just as a whole, or even skip that. Let's just focus on this country alone. It's I think I would agree with you. I think we've taken steps backwards, and it's
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think it would have been I know we sent somebody to Live Aid, I think as a station, because I was at IOG at the time. I remember being on the air as an afternoon drive at the time. And we sent someone. I could have went, and I can't remember why I didn't go. I think it was because 4th of July weekend we had stuff going on that we were a part of or whatever. But I could have went to Philadelphia to see it. And I remember seeing we sent someone to Philadelphia because it was Will Smith, Jay-Z, Linkin Park, Bon Jovi, Destiny's Child, Black Eyed Peas, Maroon 5, Rob Thomas, Toby Keith, Alicia Keys, Def Leppard, and the Dave Matthews Band.
oh, is that it?
Just a yeah, few people you may have heard of a couple of them, but like I would have there was a reason why, and I can't remember the life of me why I didn't go. I mean, I think at the time I know for a fact at the time I was doing afternoon drive. I know for a fact that my life at the time was consistent of pretending to have girlfriends that I didn't want and hanging out way too late at night all the time. So I wasn't doing anything really like, super contributive to the world, but there was a reason why I couldn't go. And I think it's because we did something as a station that I can't remember. It was probably some 4th of July related event because it was 4th of July weekend. But there was a reason why I didn't go. And now I look back and go, why didn't I go to that? I should have found a way
Yeah.
to go. But it's just, I don't want to harp on it and be sad, but it was just like, if you ever get a chance, go back and watch some of those performances. It's very 2005, but it's just so cool to see an audience where you don't see a single cell phone up in the air and you don't see anybody
Hmm.
like trying to film anything. You don't see anybody like doing any of the above. They're just caught up in a moment for like what would probably be arguable from that lineup, a once in a lifetime show that went on. And I
Yeah.
mean, it was just, you can look at the people I think it was in Benjamin Franklin Park in Philadelphia. You can just absolutely look and see how many people were there. And it was just and the same thing in London. And I mean, U2 and Paul McCartney were in London and everything. Like, I
Mhm.
mean, it was just a really killer like show to watch and everything. And you had all these people, but you had like the who's who of celebrities at the time. I mean, it very much similar to I'm sure what Live Aid was in the 80s, but it was just, I mean, the whole thing was televised. It was just a wild, it would be kind of cool to go back in that time and kind of relive some of those musical moments again without, oh, I got to film. Oh, they're going to play, what I've done. I got to film this, instead of just being in the moment.
One of my go-to to watch from the early 2000s concert wise. Well, actually, I haven't been able to find it because I'm pretty sure it's been scrubbed. Was the it's two things. One was the uh I think it was the MTV Music Awards or Video Music Awards of Green Day, um back when the Dookie album was in its heyday, and I will never forget Billy Joe Armstrong standing up on stage and saying, I don't know what this guy did to piss off Green Day, but at the beginning of their performance, he says, "You see this guy," and he's pointing at the camera. He says, "That's our spit cam. You see this guy, you spit on him." And the entire performance, I don't know what bet he lost. I don't know what he did, but an entire crowd of people spit on this poor man for at least 10 minutes.
Ugh.
That is like one thing I will never I remember seeing it. I remember seeing it live, and I'll never forget that because I just couldn't put my finger on why someone would stand in and do something like that as being the cameraman and how much did he get paid? And there
Yeah.
were just so many questions. That and you may remember this, Steven, the uh, Evanescence faux pas during a live, it was a live award show, I think it was. Um,
Evanescence?
you can't, yes, you can't find, not, was it Evanescence? No, I'm sorry, it wasn't Evanescence. Oh my God, see, there's that brain fart thing again. See there. Pretty sure it was See there. Um, no, it was Evanescence. God dang it, Steven. Yes, it was Evanescence.
You should not try to
Uh,
remember things for a while.
yeah, you're right. But then yeah, I should stop, but I can't. It was Evanescence. You just made me, the way you said Evanescence made me question whether or not I was right. They'd gotten a new lead guitarist,
Because Graham
and
Moody left.
yes,
Because nobody could
and
stand.
you may remember,
Everybody had
yes.
problems with Amy Lee.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you remember this? This was during an award show. Ryan
I,
Seacrest introduced them,
ugh,
and I want to say it was My Immortal that they were supposed to be playing, and because it was that very dark
piano.
and light piano intro, and she's singing, and then the guitar kicks in, and the guitarist is playing the complete wrong song.
Oh, geez.
And nobody can tell him he's playing the wrong song because he's just freaking thrashing and wailing, and I just remember Amy Lee at the end of the song just saying into the microphone, "I'm so sorry."
I mean,
I tried to look it up on YouTube recently. I couldn't find it. So I'm pretty certain it got scrubbed, but
I,
it's just one
I
of those
don't
things
remember
that
it, but that's funny. Like, I mean,
yeah.
he probably felt like ass afterwards.
Oh, they fired him. They fired him the next day. From what I had heard, he was fired immediately.
See, and if you were a part of that, there weren't there Evanescence. If that was the case, probably no cell phones and nobody recording and all
Mm-hmm.
that kind of stuff. Like, it's just there's something about being. I mean, and again, I know like you want to capture everything, but there's something about just being at a performance and being in it and like being lost for 3 or 4 hours or a day or whatever and not having to record it and not having to, think about it, but just being, you know, there and in a moment and everything. And wish I could go back in time and relive that because it was a much better time. Now I look back and give it way more credit than I did at the time, and I
We
think,
were all more present in the moment.
yeah. And I think we're all guilty of thinking like those times are going to last forever. And then you look
Yep.
back and you go, ah, damn, like,
Yep.
just to go. But I mean, even the bad stuff, like I would go back and relive the bad stuff just to do it again. And I think I would like knowing what I know now, maybe have a level of appreciation that I didn't have before.
There's a part of me that thinks that I can look back 20 years from now and say that same thing, but who knows?
Yeah, I know. I for a fact, no, I mean, I think you just take for granted a lot, but you don't realize you're taking it for granted until you're older.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they f you in the drive-through, like
That
because
is 100% true.
you know. So it is fun time next week because young Michael and I are going to the Reds Tigers game on Saturday night, so that should be an entertaining time.
As I'm watching my Tigers completely just fall apart right now,
My
I'm
Reds are
embarrassed. Is it
red hot.
I that's why I have a feeling that you're gonna have a little more fun than I'm gonna have.
No, I'm not
Just
because my hat still hasn't got here, and I'm still pissed about it. So Michael and I are talking one day, and I ordered a new. The Reds released a new Saturday night jersey for the City Connect series. It's red, so I ordered the jersey and the hat. My jersey got here in 2 days. Hat still not there. I got an email notification last week that said your hat should ship by the 24th. Not will ship, should ship by the 24th.
should.
Game's the 25th. So Mike shows me the new Detroit Tigers City Connect jersey, which I will admit,
Oh, it's the old one.
bad,
It's the old one.
pretty badass jersey, but I'd never seen
Yeah.
it before. So Mike orders a City Connect jersey and hat, and it arrives together in 2 days. Irks me. And then today I was at a gas station. I saw some dude in a City Connect hat. And I'm like, oh, got your hat on time. I see. That's great. So everybody but me. But anyway, I'm done bitching. Have yourself a fantastic.
Are you sure?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, can only bitch for an
Oh,
hour. I'll think of something else. Maybe I'll
I'm
text you
sure
in the
you
middle.
will.
I'll text you in the middle of the night, leave you a voicemail.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.